Greetings in the video. Today I'm in Mr. Phil Burt's bike fit studio because I mentioned to him recently that I was gonna get back into the gym and lifting weights so that I can build like my muscles and just get a little bit stronger, because I feel like especially my upper body is pretty weak. And he mentioned, have you done like all the ranges of movement? Can you do all that stuff? And I was like, what do you mean? So not only is Phil an amazing author on bike fit, he's also written an amazing strength and conditioning book. And in this book, he's got like a diagram of, can you do all these kind of ranges of movement, controlled movement, before you actually set foot in a gym. So today I thought I would go through that, see what I can do, and share it with you at home if you are wanting to start the gym as well. So he'll explain exactly why we're doing it, but it is just essentially so that you don't get injured, because Phil, first and foremost, is a physio, so he looks after people when they're broken. Show us the cover.
So to go. Oh, we're filming, are we? Sorry.
Yeah.
Right, okay. Yes. So this is my second book, which I wrote with Maya and Evans, probably one of the best strength and conditioners I've ever worked with. Just so you know, when you're in an elite sport or any situation like that, the strength and conditioners normally battle it out with the physios. We often say, oh, you break them, we fix them. Because strength and conditioning comes with a risk, and that risk is because you're loading up the body. You only make more muscle get stronger if you stress it, and then it responds to that and adapts to it and gets better at dealing with that stress. But of course, if it isn't able to cope with it, then it can cause pain and injury. So I've said to Katie beforehand that I think I fully endorse cyclists doing strength and conditioning. I've often said this before, but not many people know, when Bradley won his time trial title, world time trial trial, he did a 16-week block of conditioning. He put the same machines that we have in the British Cycling Gym in his house, so he didn't have to come in all the time to the velodrome to do it, but he was doing proper strength and conditioning program alongside cycling, because he knew he had to get that much more powerful to beat Tony Martin, and he did. It's proven there. If you put good strength and conditioning programs, not just for track sprinters, it makes you more robust. If you start to do a strength and conditioning program, you want your base of your house that you're going to build that house on, that pyramid, as wide as possible. If you start it really narrow, I know I have restrictions, my range of movement's not that poor, and we'll go through which bits of that are important, or I can't control that range of movement, then you're building a house on very, very, very small foundations. If we make that foundation as wide as we possibly can to start with.
So a range of movement control.
Yeah, range of movement control, as much as we can possibly get out of you. Not everyone can get everything, some people are stiffer than others, but just be the best you can. You widen that, then when you start putting weight and load on top of it, it's less likely to fall over into pain, injury or dysfunction. But that's an algorithm of what me and Martin thought were the 4 most important things in range of movement, and then how you would control them. And then for each one of those, we've given inside the book, say, some things have more than others, but normally about 3 to 5 different interventions you can make yourself at home with no special kit, no physiotherapy, no expensive equipment. You can change, and then that can help you change that. And the thing is, if you don't move on to the next level, you can do it until you do that, and we give you the marker for it. So you can work at it. Right, I've got it. Right, I can move on to the next one. It just really frustrates me when people want to start strength and conditioning or resistance training. They go and do it, and they go, oh God, I get injured, that hurts. Yeah, they could do it if maybe did some of these simple techniques.
Do you think I'm going to do all 4 of them?
No, you're going to fail at least one of them.
You're on about my range of movement. I'm going to fail one.
So this is active straight leg raise, and what we want to see is whether you can get your leg as high as you possibly can toward you, without bending your knee, without your back massively arching off the bed. And Katie's quite good at this. And then if we measure in here, she's easily got more than what we call the 75 degrees. So the golden mark is if you get more than 75 degrees straight leg raise, your hamstring length and your pelvic flexibility is good enough to start to load. If it's not, it's probably that you're going to have to do some work. You're going to get a knee bend, or your back will arch off the bed. One of those two. It probably means it both relate to probably what we call a posterior file or hamstring tightness, and we're going to show you how to deal with that. So 75 degrees straight up before you progress. This is just one thing, all right? In the book there's about loads of other techniques, but I want you to sit long sitting, all right? Put that mid-range, okay? Now I want you to put your hands behind you. I want you to push your weight up here, get your leg up in the air. Start with one leg supporting the other side, and I want you to roll up and down. Good. And what you do is you roll through there, and as you can, try and put more and more weight in. Kate, you've gone, you've got full body weight. Good stuff. Is that sore? No, because you're not restricted. But if someone at home is restricting there, they might find a really painful bits of this where they can start to work on it and self-massage. So this test is called knee to wall, the most simple thing in the world, but it's a really good measurement of your ankle dorsiflexion, and that's really important. If you imagine you might have an old ankle injury or some restriction and you can't dorsiflex down on that, you know, can't bend your ankle. Can you imagine putting like big weight on your back and squatting, and all of a sudden the ankle can't go, so you twist and then your back's under pressure. One of the most common reasons for people being asymmetrical and injuring themselves. Dead easy to fix, dead easy to test. Make a mark on the floor, and our goal, and what we've decided is the range of movement is at least 11 centimetres away is what we call good. And what you have to do then is keep your your whole foot on the floor. Your heel isn't allowed to come off, and your knee has to touch the wall. Hence, it's called knee to wall. And for
but
once,
don't do shoes, not shoes.
Normally without shoes, yeah. So just barefoot. So if you just come forward like this and get to there, a fail is you get to there and the heel comes off, at which point you start to move backwards and see what your marker is, so you determine what you got. Great. Now, without lifting your heel up, you can try and get your knee to touch the wall. Fantastic. And you're a pass. Good. And your heel's just coming off on that side. No,
it is a little bit.
Yeah, so if you just move forward a little bit to 10, and there you're comfortably there, and the heel's staying level. So you might just need to do a little bit on your left hand side.
Okay.
We're going to make use of the foam roll again. I know it's really similar to the last one, but if you can't get your knee to the wall, the most likely structure that's limiting that will probably be either within your ankle joint or your calf, all right? But if your ankle joint's stiff, your calf will be stiff anyway, all right? So if we get stuck into the calf, so if you go up on the bed again, and what I want you to do is push up now and put that foot on top of that leg, so you've got full body weight, and bend your knee, that's it, toes towards you, and now I want you to roll up and down, finding the tight spots. You can roll in and out. Good. That's not nice, is it? So your calves are always a bit sore, but if you start work on this, and you could do, for say example, 3 times a minute's worth of work trying to do this, and then go back and do your test again. Cross your arms across your chest, and now you can grab hold of that pole. Keep the pole in contact with both shoulders, okay? So what we're going to do is see if you can rotate around. Now people can do this at home in a doorway, and what you have to do is try and get the pole to touch the thing. So I want you to rotate around without lifting your arm off the thing. And here we go. Katie fails. I thought you would be. Now most people are good on one side, bad on one. No, that's a cheat. There we are. That's a cheat. And then I want you to try the other way. And don't be surprised if this is a lot easier. She gets there and the hand doesn't come off the shoulder and her buttock isn't lifting off the floor. That's another common cheat. What we've identified here is, if we're going to go into a gym, we have to do different things to what we do on the bike, and some of those exercises that you might see in a book or be prescribed by a strength and conditioner will require a more mobile thoracic spine to be able to do it, especially cross pattern movements and so on and so forth. And if you're better at rotating in your thoracic spine, it just basically widens that base again, so you're not going to get so injured. Nearly everyone's tight on one side or the other, because we normally have one shoulder that's tighter than the other, just a dominant hand, but it's an easy thing to work on.
Right, is it going to be another foam roll? I mean,
no, this is going to be a horrible trigger point ball.
Trigger points are the worst.
I want you to rotate from one side to the other, just on that posterior capsule. Can you feel that? Oh, there we are.
Oh God, that's painful.
But just finding the painful bit and staying there, and then rolling. That's it. Small bits. That's it. Good. And this is really effective at opening.
That is it.
Now, you don't have to do this lying down, you could do it up against the wall to start with. This is really effective as well. You don't have to be on the floor. Maybe start with this one, and then what you can do is roll backwards and forward. Bloody hell. Do as I say, not as I do. And then and you find these painful spots. You obviously don't put yourself in stupid amount of pain, but if you find a painful spot, just stay on it for a minute and try and see if the pressure relieves it. So this is called hand behind back. And this is an assessment of your shoulder flexibility. And what you do is you take the top of the pole with one hand behind you, good, and you take the other one here. Now before you do this, what I want you to do is measure 1.5 fist distance in between. You can do that on your own, right? But now move your fists together up and down the pole, without the pole coming off your back of your bottom or the top of your thoracic spine here, and trying to keep as much in contact with the spine. And that, I can see from here that Katie's within 1.5 fists of each other there, and there she is. You can see the distance apart. There will always be a difference between left and right. Very few people are symmetrical, but it's a good assessment of the flexibility of both shoulders in different positions. Good way of opening up the thoracic spine is coming like this, okay? So holding your hands on your ears and bringing it in, or crossing your arms across your chest like this, okay? Now as you go back this time, just extend your head and look back out the window as you do it. That's it, good. And then come back down. Now how does that feel?
Fine.
Now, if you ask me, this is a really good exercise for cyclists, because we spend a lot of time in thoracic flexion on the bike, And if you look at pro cyclists, they walk around like Montgomery Burns most of the time, all right? And with very flexed thoracic spines. This corrects that, so this helps us go the other way and helps us get that all-important extension. Okay. Most of the lifting you're ever going to do in the gym is going to require you to extend yourself from the spine. Yeah, so this is a really good exercise and often improves those tests that we just did. One criticism of my own profession is that we don't really listen to research sometimes, and most people don't follow. If we give too many exercises, compliance, in other words, adhering to that plan goes right for the window. Good story about that is Mr. Bradley Wiggins once was assessed by California outfit when he was at one of his pro teams, and he once came back to me and said he'd been assessed similar to what we've done today, probably more, and he was given a CD of exercises to follow. Back when we used to have CDs, and he came in to see me at 5 o'clock one day and gave me the CD and said, I've done all these. They said I have to do these all day. I have to do these exercises every day. I've just done them and I've run out of time to ride my bike. So he had 26 different individual exercises. Every one of those will make any human being move better, right? But you have to be realistic. We're all time poor. So what we've talked today about is what I term my career, which is golden bullet exercises. The ones that give you the most impact for the time you put into them, you know. Once a day, if you can do them 3 times, start with 30 seconds of all these exercises. If you can build up to 60 seconds, if you're getting that input with a good minute or two's rest in between, if you're doing that every day, very much little and often, and maintenance is better than boom, bust, oh, now I feel sore, I'll do loads more.
So yeah, I just want to say thanks again to Mr. Phil Burt. I'll leave all his details below if you want to come and see him. But honestly, like, I feel like his knowledge and the way you explain things is just phenomenal. So much appreciated. Thanks for the pain. Right. Also, there are 2 other steps, aren't there? So maybe we could do another video on those ones.
Very much so. So what we've done so far, that's the range of movement. Now here comes the difficult bit, is how you control that range of movement, you know? So if someone, imagine doing a single knee bend and you know that your knee will collapse all the way in and you look like a dog falling over, you know. Yeah. It's about control through range, and that's important because it's great having all the range, but you need to be able to control it, and then you can put weight on top of it. Yeah.
Potentially a couple more videos that we can do on this, so yeah, maybe we'll do that.
Okay.
See how I get on with these. Oh God, I've dropped the stick.
You hate that stick, I know you
do. I do. It's because it just ruins all the pictures and stuff. It's a big bright orange stick. Do you want to be in the shot or not? No? Yeah?
Do you want me to move?
Yeah.
Maybe if you put your hand on the side of your head like this, all right? No, the other one. The other one, come on. Just because of the modern imposition of life. There we go.